Today on Between the Lines, why it's never too late to do what you love with my guest, Riva Spier. Welcome, I'm Barry Kibrick. Riva is a certified medical exercise specialist and a personal trainer, but that's not why she's here today. A short while back, she decided to add another dimension to her life. At an age when most people would never even imagine starting a new career, Riva became a singer-songwriter. We'll explore how she did it and why she inspires others to fulfill their passions.
I'm a writer today because I was a reader when I was 11 years old, and it was...
You do not need to prove your state of happiness to anybody.
Most of these speeches were as much as a month in preparation.
Characters, the heroes in this book, are seekers of truth in a story that involves a lot of
You
corruption.
don't get a chance to really talk about what's real, and it's the perfect to me.
Riva, welcome to the show. It's such a pleasure to have you on here, dear.
Thanks, Bear. I'm so happy to finally be here.
I want to share with my viewers something. I've known you for many years, and I said, made me say, well, why is coming on the show? And I said, this is a woman that I've been speaking about in a strange way, because I've had so many famous guests who redefine themselves, who do all the things, and I realized in my own backyard there was a woman doing this and more. And in a sense, when we spoke even, you said, that's a big part of your message, is that no matter what age, no matter what your profession is, if you want to do something, you just went and did it.
Just do it.
And you did. You were and you still are one of the great fitness trainers in this city, in this county, and my wife has benefited forever. Then you made a decision, I want to sing.
I didn't, it wasn't even conscious. A little voice said, I have to sing now. So I just went with it.
And you started to pack in the clubs, and now you've decided to go and make a CD.
Yeah, did one, and had a lot of fun with it, wrote some songs, and I just like to just do what's in my heart and follow the path, and I think I've pretty well always done that in my life.
Well, you know, one of the CD is called Unbridled, and it's interesting because it's got a very eclectic mix of everything from, as you say, a little country western, but a lot of torch songs, a lot of blues, some pop, some rock. It's got a great mixture in there. But Unbridled still is important because, as you told me, the first words out of your mouth was horsey.
It
Horses
was.
And you. They're a major part of your life.
Before I said mom, I said horsey, she told me. But the unbridled also means the spirit of the music and just not having cages around you and being held in. It's a feeling. It's an emotion also.
But it's an emotion that you first felt when you got on a horse.
Oh, yes. You just feel very free on a horse. I mean, maybe not everyone, but I do. And I feel very close to my heart when I'm on a horse. I just do.
Well, you know, I'll tell you these words. You had to step back into the ring, so to speak, so many times in your life. And you almost wear it as a badge of pride. You had to reinvent yourself a number of times, and there's nothing wrong with that. You did it with joy.
I think everyone has to survive, has to keep reinventing themselves. I don't think we can just do one thing anymore. I think you just have to go with where the river is kind of taking you, if I can use a cliche.
I want to read a quote that I found in your bio. I learned to jump bareback and blindfolded, and to gallop through cross-country courses with some pretty foreboding natural obstacles, stone walls, steep slopes, ditches, windfalls, and wood piles. That makes you tough, and other things later in life then don't seem very scary in comparison. You just saddle up and go.
Yes, yes. I think you just said it. I mean, what more can I add? The training when I was young, and we did all that, made everything else just a piece of cake, and you just have to be tough. Even singing, somebody I was singing at the time just said, get up on the stage, you're singing the song. It was some venue, and my God, the band didn't know the song, but I just did it, and it was a disaster, by the way. It was a train wreck, But it gave me the courage to just, so what? You just push on, do it again. You know?
Well, at the same time, though, you have a little background in things. You're from Canada.
Yes.
And you were not afraid to, when someone said you should be modeling, you knocked on a door, you
I
walked
love
in.
that story.
Tell the story.
I love
there.
the story, Barry. Thanks for letting me. I don't go by the rules. So somebody said, maybe you should try modeling. I thought, okay. I had a face. I didn't have the height. I was a little plump and stocky. But they said, go to this school, go to that school. No. So I knocked on the door. And the agency, she said, who's that? Sign her. She said, just, and in other words, if I hadn't had the nerve to just do it, and I did it by instinct, you know. But I'm not trying to toot my horn. I'm just saying, you just go for it. You just go for it.
But you went for it, and then the next day you end up with a national
My first
commercial.
commercial was Crisco Oil at the age of 16, national, and I worked many years successfully.
But you are a rule breaker. You even said to me that, you know, certain rules you feel are meant to be unbroken.
I love when you say that, yes. What are they?
Well,
If anything gets in your way, you know, why do we have to? Can't we bend the rules, change the rules? When I started working at UCLA, my first training job at rehab, it was part-time, I just said, I'm the person to hire, and I just went through all the hordes of the other people, and they hired me with my resume and my determination.
see, but there's, and this is funny because I know you, and I know it's that you don't have an absence of fear. Fear is there, but it's your ability to drive through the fear. That sense of courage is what fascinated me. It's when I saw you even singing, and I said, I've got to put you on because I discussed that topic a lot, and I wanted your insights on it.
Thanks, Barry. That's very, very, very good of you. Yes, I am afraid. I feel some fear now, and I feel some fear when I'm singing, but the art takes you through that. You don't care anymore. You know, when you're singing the song, it's different. You're singing a message, and I think the fear goes away. The song has priority, and you push through.
But you know, on many of the songs, especially the one, that's the other thing. You're not just doing cover songs here. You decided you're going to write your songs.
Yes.
Again, the boldness in the effort is quite impressive. But a lot of it does come from pain. There's or loss. I don't even know if it's pain as much as loss. Yet,
Yes.
your music leaves the person listening to it feel the pain, but there's an uplift. Something happens when it's over, as if you recovered, and so has your listener.
Well, thank you for noticing that. That's amazing. I seem to have a lot of loss in that CD, and I wasn't aware of it when I was recording until I heard the songs back to back, and I said, that poor woman's been through a lot of loss. But you do get stronger from it, and it's the truth. You write what you know and what you live, and you sing what you feel, and it's all the truth. There was a lot of loss, but who hasn't had loss? And what are we going to do? Crinkle up and die, or just push on, you know? Be strong.
Well, you have been, and you had to make a very big adjustment. You left your home country, Canada, to come to the United States, and like every immigrant, that was not an easy thing to do.
It wasn't easy. I had to sell my beloved horses, which part of my heart will never be the same. Leave all my family, friends, everything, the culture, but that's part of it. Part of the river, Barry. You gotta go with the flow.
Yeah, but part of being a rule breaker is you decided once you moved here and got a home, even though it wasn't zoned, you bought another horse.
Yes.
I love that story. Share that, because I mean, I'll never forget going.
love
You have a
that.
suburban home, and you go, oh, come in the backyard, and there's a horse. I mean, I felt like I was about to go Wilbur.
Yes.
I mean, it was Mr. Ed.
Yes, it's the truth. I zoned it. Everyone said, is your home zoned? And I said, yes, I zoned it. I had gone to the city and said, is it zoned? And the man, the old guy sitting there said, that's RR2 or whatever. It wasn't zoned. I said, it is now. And I just put the horse in the yard. They never bothered me. In a beautiful corral. And I zoned it. It was now zoned for horses. Hawk was my brother, that horse. He was my brother.
Really?
Yeah.
You had that
Like
kind
a
of
brother.
a bond.
Yes, yes.
You know, you rode Hawk throughout the mountains. You
Yes,
became
I became
a volunteer.
Mounted patrol.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
I just figured we need a patrol, and I'd throw the hackamore on old Hawk He was a very savvy horse. We rode down Ventura Boulevard many a time and clip-clop.
By the way, so people might, from out of the, Ventura Boulevard is like the main thoroughfare from the suburbs of Los Angeles.
Yes, Studio City. And we'd go to our favorite bar. Yes, we would. And he'd have the tortilla chips out of my cowboy hat and a beer. And he could swig a beer from his lips, that horse.
Did you dare drive him or ride him after that? Are you allowed to ride a, wait a minute, are you
drunken
allowed to
horse.
ride a drunken horse, or are you allowed to
So
be drunk while
funny.
riding a horse that's
I don't
sober?
know. That's very funny. I don't know if the cops would know what to do with a drunken horse. Give him a breathalyzer. But yeah, I rode through the city. I rode around. I mean, it was just unbelievable.
But you
in
also
the mountains. I mean, it was. My life is a dream. I mean,
Well, you're a Canadian Mountie,
I'm
I
Canadian.
say. But no, because you literally, you rescued people. There's a
Yes.
story of you rescuing
yes,
a woman
there
in
was
a
a
coma.
woman. She was entering a diabetic shock. We surmised because she was gasping, and I put her on the horse, and he walked down with her over his back. I mean, we've done some pretty good things. That horse was special.
Tell me
Not
about-
every horse could do that.
Tell me about the arrest, though. I don't know. That in my mind, I can't even
Which
envision it.
arrest? You mean
You cuffed a guy.
Oh, the cuff him to a tree story? We were working with the LAPD with little radios and stuff, and we said we seem to have found this guy they're looking for. And I was shaking and everything with my riding partner, and they just said, just cuff him to a tree. Well, we did have little handcuffs, but I don't think they were the real kind. But actually, they came and joined us, and we held him at bay with the horses. We held him at bay, and they took him away. So
mean,
it
that
was
had
an
to
important
be-
thing, but I wouldn't tell other people. It wasn't a smart thing to do.
Wow, but it makes a great story.
It's a great story.
Oh, man.
It's
Now,
all true.
Wait, there are, again, though, things that make things difficult even for people raising a child. After you moved to LA with your husband, things didn't work out so well, and you end up getting a divorce, and you become a single mom. But you have these multiple careers, you're a single mom, and it's very funny when I have actresses on the show who are famous and who have written books about it, everyone then could look with a jaded eye while they had the nanny, they had this, they had that. But in our society, what people don't realize is how many single moms are really out there and how difficult it is. I know as a two-parent family, raising a child, raising two children, no matter what, it really requires two sets of brains almost,
does.
because you need to feed off of each other. When you're alone, I don't know. I don't know what could be harder than that.
You just have to use your faculties, and there's a lot of resources and friends and good-spirited kid, and you just do your best. I don't think I was that great. I still was riding the horse, and I felt bad. I thought maybe I should be with my daughter. I mean, she wasn't that young, but I did still do a lot of things, and commercials, and I was doing voiceover, a lot of character voices. I wasn't there all the time, but we did have some help, and you do what you can do, Bear.
Yeah, and you do it all the time without remorse or regret. I found that also when someone said, well, you invited Riva, and I said, well, because again, I see a spirit in her that I want to share with viewers, because again, without a support system, without a safety net, you still were willing to take chances. And many people that have strong safety nets are afraid to leave their home sometimes to take a chance. You are not.
No, I'm not. I don't have patience for people that are afraid to try things. Just try something new. Book a gig, fall on your face, make a mess. So what? At least you tried something, and you let your spirit shine through a little bit.
Now, your spirit shines through, especially in the work you do with fitness.
I love it.
You specialize in all sorts of
Thanks.
areas, but in one thing in particular is what you call boomer fitness. And it is a program that and you have many classes here in LA, that really is aimed at the woman over 50
Yes.
who really, that's when it's most important to actually be in shape.
Yes.
But if you're not careful, that's also how you could get injured.
Yes. You have to keep the body strong. I have zero tolerance for people. I can't move because my doctor said I can't move because I cut my left finger. We got to keep moving. Bodies are meant to move. Stay strong, have a good inside, spirit again, using that word, and got to stay strong and be careful. Got to be careful, aware where you're going, what you're doing. You have to know where your body is in space all the time. It's called proprioception, where your body is in space. You're less likely to have an accident.
Well, you know something, and that's the problem. So many people we don't even know the physiology of our bodies or the biology of our bodies. What's the word you just used?
Well, proprioception is knowing where you are in space. So you have less chance of a fall or tripping if you'd close your eyes now, Bear, and you might be able to exactly picture your body, but if we put a mirror in front of you, would you have it wrong? In other words, the placement of your body at all times in motion and static.
Now, is that something that you actually can teach in the class?
I don't use that word or use big words, but yeah, I make them tilt and can I stand up? Or I make them do this kind of thing. I make them do all kinds of crazy things because to prevent a fall as you age is a key factor in safety and fitness.
Yes, because that's how everyone is breaking a hip or breaking a knee, is they make that fall. And what I find is not so much the hip that breaks that's the problem. It's literally the surgery and the repercussions from that.
Yes.
So it really is important. But how do you...
Spiral could be a spiral downhill and stay strong, the muscles, the joints.
And how do you yourself, though, know your own sense? How does one... In other words, I saw the exercises you do. Do you actually just develop then the sense from doing it? Do you get a better...
Yeah, they're known exercises, but I developed my own system. Yeah, when you're more honed, like any athlete, you're more aware how you're moving, exactly where things are. You may not know the names, but you know where your body's moving, how it's adjusting. Yes, you know exactly what's going on the more you're trained, like any athlete.
You know, you told me earlier, if I gave out at least your website, even though I know people who are not in LA, they can't come to your class, but you would answer their questions in regards to physical fitness. So I want to give it out right now. It's very simple. It's www.rivafit.com. And if they're in the Los Angeles area, they can take whatever classes they want, or they can find out from there. Or private training or whatever.
Absolutely.
There was something I thought also amazing, and I'm not sure a man could do this. I hate to sound sexist in a reverse way. I think it's a woman that can do this. Your husband, who you were divorced from, was dying, and you and your daughter cared for him as if there was never a separation. That type of compassion, that type of empathy, I was in awe of.
Oh, thanks, Barry. It was just from my heart. I'm not good at staying mad at people. I'm not good at grudges. And for my daughter, and we were very good friends at the end, my ex-husband and myself, and hated to see him waste away, and just as everyone would. And for my daughter, and that's what to do. That was what to do. Everyone said, I don't hold grudges, but I'm not good at grudges. Why?
Let's get to your music for a little bit, because that's what made, when I said, okay, now this woman's, we're going to go hear Riva sing, I thought it was going to be some sort of close to karaoke type of thing. I had no idea. How would I have an idea, And then you got up there and you are literally an entertainer and a songstress. And you said these words. And in fact, I think it was you're growing up again. One of the things, go back to the horse. You did literally sing while you were riding your horse, and you said if what was it? Tell me what it was.
It's sort of true. I still do it. If the horse, when a horse is relaxed, their back is swinging and their ears sometimes swing, and if you sing a song and they tilt their ears back a lot, not pinned, that means they're angry. It means they're digging the song. At least that's my interpretation. So I would sing that at the next honky tonk. That would be on the song list. Oh yeah.
Now, but again, let's go back to the background, because...
Well, I wrote Hoofbeat Blues on the back of the horse.
Well, that would make sense,
I wrote it on there.
Well, in fact, I'm gonna end the show with Hoofbeat Blues. We're gonna let them hear. That's because you wrote that song, and it's perfect. We'll end the. Okay. I wasn't sure what. Now I'm positive. We're gonna end it with Hoofbeat Blues. But I want to go back to the music. Well, that is the music, but your aspect of the music, and that is, you said something twitched inside you, something that your soul, you got hooked on the magic of music, and I think a lot of it had to do from reading what you wrote in your bio about your parents and the music playing all the time in the home.
Having been brought up, and my mom was a great pianist, and my dad was by ear, could just play anything. Chopin all the time, you know, it was classical music. My sister is a violinist still, but I think that the music just gets in your bones and moves you, and any genre, not any, but many genres, move you. You have to feel it in your, deep in your heart. It should lift you. It should completely uplift you and move you from this place to this place, if some music is touching you.
But it's moving
you
you,
up.
and then you are moving your audience, your listeners. So it sort of has a double reaction, sort of. I mean, you know,
Yes,
it's not just
hopefully.
one person. It's moving others. And if there's
That's
people,
wonderful. Well, you want to touch people. What I sing is the truth, good or bad. It's just from me. It's me. So I'm glad if it touches some people. Thank you.
but your own. Let's go back to yourself, though. On that stage, you are transformed. I know
Yes.
that. You're different. And I don't mean
don't know what
just like
it
I'm different
is.
when I'm on doing my show. I'm not the
Yeah.
exact same person I
Right.
am. I'm close. But when you perform, you really do transform. You see a joy. You see there's something happens to you. And I don't know if and I guess maybe it does happen to all great performers, but something happens that's physically noticeable.
What is it, Barry? I'd like you to tell me. I've always wanted to interview you. You know, you're probably right, but I'm not conscious. What is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's the art coming through, the music. I don't know what it is.
Reeve, you know, since we're talking about music, I do want people to have an opportunity, if they're interested in listening to this beautiful CD, they can do so by going to cdbaby.com/CD/Riva, and they can, like I can, listen to the music.
Yes, or buy it or download it. Absolutely.
You said to me these words that are very famous, but you said you had another twist on them. And the classic term, seize the moment. But you said that everyone uses that. You believe you have to seize the moment, but it must be from your heart.
Yes. And that's something you can't fake, you can't change. If you feel it, just bring it in. And if you think you're going to do it and picture it, it starts to happen. And you've heard that before. It's the truth. Picture it a little bit here, there. It starts, it becomes you. What did Leonard Cohen say? What did he say? He said, picture something happening and soon you will be that. That will be you.
That's one of my favorite lines in his
I think you
songs.
said it on the show.
I did. It's act like you want to be and soon you will be
Yes.
the way you act.
It's the truth.
It is. It
In
absolutely
many
is.
areas.
You know, you have a pet peeve, though. And the pet peeve is labels. And you don't know why we are in veils. Why, in a sense, metaphorically, we cover ourselves. And so those two things I want to chat with you about. Why do we hide ourselves, and why are you so upset about being put in a box?
Boxes I hate. I mean, I would swear and curse now if I wasn't on a show. And I hate the word senior or boomer. I mean, well, boomers are not so bad. Age, numbers. You shouldn't be in a box. Everybody's a little different. You've heard this before. Everyone has multicolors. No boxes.
The veil. Why we hide behind our
I
veil.
wish we could really say, well, you know, when walking down the street, read what people, you know, just be who you are. It's so hidden, so many veils. But many people are very open to, which is wonderful, like you.
Well, thank you, Reeve. Listen, our time is up. I want to end with a few words that you told me the other day. I want to reach people to wake them up. Maybe one person will try something new they wouldn't have tried before. Thank you, honey, for waking us all up today.
Oh, thank you, Barry, so much. That's wonderful. Thank you.
It's my pleasure,
So
and thank
kind.
you all for joining us. Now, before Riva leaves and we listen to some of her music on her CD Unbridled, I'd like to leave you with these words once again, because I believe they cannot be overstated. I learned to jump bareback and blindfolded and to gallop through cross-country courses with some pretty foreboding natural obstacles of stone walls, steep slopes, ditches, windfalls, and woodpiles. That makes you tough, and other things in life don't seem very scary in comparison. You just saddle up and go. I'm Barry Kibrick. Between all the ditches, walls, and foreboding obstacles we face, remember all you really have to do to get through them all is just saddle up and go. Thank you, Riva.
Thank you so much, Bear.
My pleasure.
Closed captioning for Between the Lines with Barry Kibrick is made possible by your generous contributions to KLCS Education Foundation. Thank you for your support. To connect with Barry, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Barry Kibrick. And to contact Barry directly, watch past episodes of Between the Lines, and read his blog, visit us at barrykibrick.com.
'Cause I work all day, ride my Mustang at night. One little thing, it don't fit right. I need an ever-loving papa, and I'm spreading the news. She needs a papa, and she's spreading the news. I got the lonely woman, easy ride, smooth like Hoofbeat Blues. I got the heart of loving, high flying, mesmerizing, tantalizing, a hypnotizing Hoofbeat Blues.